Well, the trends are alarming. And we started to look at these trends and said, you know what, something's got to be done here, because if this continues, we will have a generation of kids and adults with hearing loss. And that impacts everything, because hearing impacts not just the individual, the world around them.
So a little experiment at a North Texas high school may go a long way to preserving the hearing of some teens. About 20 students at the Winfrey Academy in Richardson are taking a hearing challenge, wearing earplugs all day to simulate hearing loss. Most don't realize the damage, and that's the reason for this experiment.
What's exciting about Winfrey is that it is such a unique opportunity, because these are kids that are game changers. You know, having someone saying, hey, you know what, we care enough to talk to you about this stuff. It's that important.
They thought it was cool and they wanted to try it too, because they didn't think that you could lose hearing. They're like, can you really lose that much hearing from listening to music? And I was like, yeah, even putting these on is only losing 33%, and it's a big difference.
If you do not take care of your hearing now, as you get older, it is something that you cannot change. It is a guarantee that you will not be able to hear well.
You know, what was really interesting was watching the students, not just walking through the hallways, but mentally, physically, psychologically, how this hearing loss challenge kind of took a toll on them.
You know, kids like my kids, they need to demonstrate, they need to be involved, it needs to be real for them to process.
Bottom line is teenagers learn from their peers. Teachers are teachers, parents are parents, but when it comes to their peers, that's who they're listening to, that's who they're following. So if we can get the teenagers to learn from one another, then we can see this hearing loss challenge really move forward.
So it's demonstrating the consequences in a safe environment that gives them a feel where they go, okay, I have control over this.
I just felt like I was in a cubicle by myself, just in my own zone.
My dad does have partial hearing loss in one of his ears. We can't afford the hearing aids, so we do have to repeat most of the things to him multiple times. But I kind of understand where he comes from, and we don't argue as much anymore.
It has sparked this understanding and awareness where they're actually telling their partners next to them and their friends, I need you to turn down your music, because if I can hear it, it's too loud for the both of us.
So what we want to do, the takeaway is, I felt it, I didn't like it, and I'm making the choice.
I love festivals, I love going to concerts like that, and you go home and they're ringing in your ears still, and I'm just like, yeah, it was a good concert, I can still hear it, but...
So when you leave that rock concert or a club and you hear that buzz in your ear, that's your hair cells starting to die.
Once those hair cells are damaged in your ear, they never come back. Game over, they are gone, they're not regenerating. It's the only cell in the human body that doesn't regenerate. Yes, we're in the business of helping people who can't hear. So if we're helping people who can't hear, and yet we're trying to avoid hearing loss in the future,
aren't you kind of killing your potential customer base? And the response to that is, this is the right thing to do.
Once you've experienced hearing loss, take steps to find technology that works for you. But what we want to do is make sure kids know now that that's not what they necessarily want to be dealing with in the future.